Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Metropolitan Council and downtown development. And we're fortunate to have with us a member of the Metropolitan Council, Mr. JSloss, who is the councilman for the 19th Councilmatic District for the Metropolitan Council. And Mr. Sloss, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you for the invitation.
You know, Mr. Sloss, what we'd like to do today is to talk about some of the things that have been going on in your district in the downtown area, as well as to say something about the stadium and the arena and a number of other things that are happening downtown. But before we get into that, let's talk about you and some of the things that were important in terms of your career, your education, and some of the things that were important in bringing you to where you are now as a member of the Metropolitan Council. Let's start there, and then we'll talk about some of these other topics later.
Well, I'm a native of Nashville, was born and bred here, and am a product of the public school system here. Graduated from Stratford High School in '82 and went on to Belmont College on a tennis scholarship. Graduated from there in '87. Upon graduation, went to work for then Congressman Boner, and that same year was his election to the mayor's office, and ended up working in the congressional office and also in the mayor's office that year. And up to this point, once he decided he wasn't going to run for re-election, I decided I wanted to enter into public service as an elected official, and was fortunate enough to win in a runoff election back in '91. And have been re-elected last year in the election last year in '95. So I'm just proud to be the representative for the downtown area.
Now you represent the 19th district. Why don't you give us some information about that district in terms of sort of a profile of the people that you represent and that kind of information?
Well, the 19th district encompasses most of the downtown area, the heart of the central business district, and goes as far west as the Music Row area. I have probably half of Music Row over to Edge Hill Avenue, and goes as far south as Fessler's Lane. In that district, I mean, I have everything from a number of colleges, or a couple of colleges, Meharry Medical College, Trevecca University, not quite Belmont, but almost the Belmont area. Have senior citizens high-rises, public housing developments, in addition to some middle-class neighborhoods. So it's an extremely diverse district, and certainly presents a lot of challenges.
You know, I think in dealing with that district, and as you indicated, that you're dealing primarily with the downtown, and one of the areas is the downtown area. And much has happened, Mr. Sloss, I think you would admit, downtown over the last 5 years. I think that there's been quite a bit planned long before that, but in terms of actual development and et cetera. Let's talk about your perception of some of the things that have happened downtown since you worked in the Boner campaign earlier.
You're right. I mean, a lot has happened in the downtown area over the last just 5 years. I mean, I've been a resident of downtown for the past 6 years, and have seen the tremendous amount of growth and excitement that's taking place down there now. And right now we're talking about issues of the traffic congestion and future development as it relates to the proliferation of retail and restaurants that have opened up down there. But I think all of that is a positive. I think that's a good sign that we're having to talk about what we're going to do about the traffic on 2nd Avenue and on Broad Street.
In other words, those are not problems. They're simply challenges that indicate that there's a viability downtown.
And not too long ago, I mean, you could move about on Broad and 2nd Avenue with no problem, because it was essentially a ghost town. But now you see people not only from Nashville, but people from Wilson and Sumner and other surrounding counties, even as far away as Murfreesboro, that come in to Nashville on a daily basis just to frequent places like Planet Hollywood and Hard Rock Cafe and all the other businesses that are down there.
Now, what impact has Planet Hollywood and Hard Rock Cafe had in terms of the way people perceive Nashville, and in terms of what you've heard members of your group, your district say? What's their general comment in reference to these developments?
Well, you know, most cities vie to get a Planet Hollywood or a Hard Rock in their city because it puts your city, so to speak, on the map. Wherever you go across this country, you'll see people with Planet Hollywood T-shirts or Hard Rock Cafe T-shirts, and under that name of that restaurant is the name of the city that that person was in. I know when our Planet Hollywood